Say, my father was a wandering Aramean. That phrase from the book of Deuteronomy is the beginning of the great Hebrew profession of faith. It begins with an act of humility. My father was a wandering Aramean. My father was a nomad. He had nothing. He had sheep. He wandered in the desert with no home, no place to be. Say that and know that's who you are. Imagine if we had to do that every day. I came from nothing. And we look around and we ask, where are we? You know, in this beginning of the season of Lent, it's very easy for us to kind of go through. We give up our Snicker bars or whatever it might be. Growing up, we gave up potatoes in our house. My father went on a diet every year at Lent. We gave up potatoes. We ate salad. It's the only time all year that a salad ever crossed the front door of our house. Much easier to kind of give up that stuff than it is to sit down and say, I'm a sinner. And I need the grace of God in my life. That statement that we hear in Deuteronomy, that statement, simple statement, my father was a wandering Aramean. And everything that I have since then is by the hand of God. This statement is written at a time when Israel was at its height. Under the reign of King Solomon, it was a great nation. And they begin with the statement, our father was a wandering Aramean. All this week, we've obviously been talking about the resignation of Pope Benedict. And those of you that have come to the daily Mass, I've reflected a few times and kind of shared some thoughts on that. And I'm sure there are many preachers around the world today who are picking up on similar themes. Because we Americans don't understand it. And those of you that come to daily Mass have heard bits of this as I've reflected. We Americans don't understand that. Because for us, everything is about power. It's all about power. Regardless of whether it be relationships, regardless whether it be jobs, it's about power and who gets to control. And to willingly walk away from that? Why? How? My father was a wandering Aramean. And everything I have comes from him. It's not about me. That statement that even our very lives are not about us is an act of profound humility. Somehow or another, we all believe that it is about us. We all believe that it is about the way we can shape and manipulate things. And the thought that someone would just stop and say, no, I've done what I can do, and now I leave. We don't believe it. And if you read the news, they're all trying to figure out what's the real reason, why he's actually leaving. Or other people that are talking about, yeah, he's really going to manipulate the next election behind the scenes. We're always in that phase that says nobody really can be that humble. Oh, we'll believe in humiliation. That makes news. We'll believe in scandal. That makes news. We'll believe in power plays. Those make news. We love those. But the surrender of power, in what is arguably today in the world one of the most, at least publicly perceived of as prestigious positions, to walk away from it and say, no, I'm done. We struggle with that. What about in our own lives as we begin Lent? What is the humility that we need do we really believe that even our penance is about us? You know, it's all about, oh Lord, you know how humble I really am, Lord. We began on Ash Wednesday and said, you know, when you fast, get dressed up, look good, feel good, and then we went ahead and put ashes on our forehead. After saying, don't do anything, we do it. Most of us, when we're doing penance, if we're dieting or we're really doing penance, we want to make sure people know it, because this way they'll know how good we are. To actually enter into the heart and the soul of Lent. My father was a wandering Aramean. I began with nothing. And everything that I am is the work of God. That kind of humility will lead us to the cross, and through the cross into an Easter of new life.